Hey guys, thanks for joining me on my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you have been here before, welcome back. Today I'm going to make a Southern Sunday supper. Every Sunday I try to make something kind of special, something that takes a little bit more effort than my everyday meals. It's a time for me to kind of try out new recipes and to kind of, just not be so bored with all the meals that I make over and over and over and over again. So today I'm making corn on the cob, macaroni and cheese, and then I'm going to do a salad. And then the main dish is going to be salmon and tilapia. I don't like salmon, and so I'm making myself tilapia, but I'll season it the exact same way. For the macaroni and cheese, I got some water boiling, and then I added in elbow noodles. And for the corn on the cob, I just did the frozen corn on the cob, the little teeny tiny ears of corn, and I put 6 into a pot and got them to start boiling. I don't cook fish a whole lot because we like to eat leftovers, and I don't think fish tastes or smells very good as a leftover. But I think that we are going to eat these leftovers. We didn't have hardly any left. We had a couple pieces, and my stepdaughter loves salmon, loves it. It's probably her favorite food, so I'm sure she'll eat them. I'm going to pop the recipe that I followed and kind of made into my own recipe up on the screen here. And this is, again, I kind of followed a recipe but made it my own, mostly because I only wanted to get out 1 measuring spoon. So for the brown sugar, you'll see the ingredients here in a sec, but the brown sugar called for a tablespoon, and so I got the tablespoon out, and then all the other seasonings, I did variations of that tablespoon. So all the measurements I have say half of a tablespoon, but you can kind of plus or minus based on what you prefer. So here we go. This will be for the salmon. We've got a tablespoon of brown sugar, salt and pepper to taste. I recently took my acrylic nails off, and I'm unable to get into anything with my paper thin nails, but we did a little sprinkle of pepper. A half a tablespoon of paprika. A half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Some salt. And a half a tablespoon of cayenne pepper. This was spicy. If you don't like spice, you can omit the cayenne pepper and it will still taste delicious. I would probably put less cayenne pepper the next time I make this because it was spicy. Everybody loved it, but I don't like to be uncomfortable when I eat, So you're going to mix that up, break up all the brown sugar, and that's what we're going to use to make a rub for the salmon. So set that aside after you mix it up. So to prepare the salmon fillets, this had 2 in it. I cut them down the middle, down the center of them. I don't know why I smelled that. It smelled fine. But I'm going to cut it down the center, and then I'm going to rinse it off, and then I'm going to pat it dry. It's important to rinse it because if it has scales on it, ugh. And then you want to pat it dry so that your rub will stick to the salmon. There's one thing I love about this kitchen. There's many things I love, but I love this giant island. It has 4 bar stools on the other side, and they're very comfortable bar stools. But when I cook, especially Sunday dinner, so many people come in and just talk to me. And I love it. And I think the kitchen TV has added a lot too, because we can put on a movie like Hocus Pocus or whatever. But here I am, my oldest son's just sitting up here telling us about he had a homecoming dance this weekend, and we were asking him questions and, wanting him to elaborate. You know how we do to our teens. We're like, don't say one word. I want to hear every little detail. So we get somewhere in the middle, right? But I love it. This is one thing I love about cooking at home, is because if they hear me cooking. They want to know what I'm cooking, when's it going to be ready, you know, it's great. So here I am just patting the salmon dry and chit-chatting, and life is good. I cut the salmon fillets down the center, and then I take my same spoon, and this is just so I don't have to keep washing a bunch of dishes, but you take a little bit of seasoning, how much ever you think, and you smash it into the salmon, and this will help it stick as you're frying it up, and then it also helps it like form a crust, a crunchy crust, and a lot of that is the brown sugar caramelizing, and oh y'all, it's so good. So into a piping hot pan, I put some avocado oil, and I'm just kind of dragging it around because I don't think my oven's level, so it all pours to one side. So I set the salmon in there, and I'm just gonna leave it alone so it sears on the bottom. While it's in the pan cooking, I put some more of the seasoning on it and press it in with my hand. And one thing I thought of just not too long ago is, like, if I wanted it less spicy, I could have only seasoned one side or even used less seasoning. But if I had it to do over again, I would just decrease the amount of cayenne pepper and use the rest of the amount of the other seasonings. I prepared the tilapia the same exact way, cut it down the center, rinsed it, patted it dry, and then prepared the same exact seasoning. I did add some lemon pepper to this because I thought lemon would be kind of nice on the tilapia, and newsflash, you couldn't taste it at all, so you could omit that or use it. It was time to flip the salmon, and you know it's time to flip because the salmon moves freely in the pan, because you see where it's seared? That's that brown sugar, y'all. It doesn't taste sweet. It doesn't. It's just so delish. But I flipped all the salmon and then continued to season up the tilapia. Turned the oven on so that when the salmon was done, I could put it into a baking pan and just put it in the oven on a very low temperature just to keep it warm. So while I was cooking my tilapia and the other things were getting done cooking, the salmon wouldn't get cold. I put a lid on the tilapia because there was 2 pieces that were really thick and I wanted them to cook through. So that kind of raised the temperature in the pan without it burning on the bottom. I cut it down a little bit lower so it would kind of cook slower temp and cook through in the bigger pieces of fish. So I'm going to turn my attention now to the macaroni and cheese. So this is just elbow noodles that I've cooked and drained. And then we got a big block of Velveeta, y'all. And I'm just going to cut a big chunk of this off, like a third of this Velveeta. And we're going to slice the Velveeta into thin slices. And then we cut those in half. And the thinner you cut your Velveeta, the quicker it will melt. We like a cheesy mac and cheese. Did I say cheesy? So once you do this, you scatter them throughout the macaroni and you're going to fold it in. Do you hear my mouth watering? And I've already ate this. Like, that's how good this macaroni is so good. And I know you think this is crazy, just get a box. No, just get it like this. Make this macaroni and cheese. It is second best to homemade, like where you cook it in a crock pot or you bake it. This is like right below that. But very easy. Very, very easy. And you're just going to let it kind of melt slowly, stir it occasionally. You have the burner off. And while everything else is getting prepared, this is going to melt down. And I did add a little bit of almond milk to it to thin it out a little bit and help it melt, like maybe a tablespoon. I add some salt and pepper to taste. And I'm telling you, chef's kiss. Tilapia was finished, so I got the pan out that had the salmon on it and put the tilapia on there also so that we could start getting dinner good and ready. The last thing I needed to do was make a salad. So we have some sprinkle mix and then I have some arugula. The only people that are going to eat this salad are me and my husband. So I make it how we like it. So spring mix, arugula. I'm going to chop up a mini cucumber. They're so delish. And I like that. They're kind of portion controlled so you don't have to like chop up an entire cucumber. I'm going to mix these 2 lettuces in. I love the flavor of arugula. And then, like, you have a lot more lettuce when you get the spring mix added in. I know you were worried that there wasn't enough cheese in this meal, so we're adding cheese to the salad too. Now I was going to cut up these baby carrots, but when I tried to cut one of them, it yeeted across the room. So I ate the rest of that one, and I just put whole baby carrots in there, and we'll just have to be grown-ups and eat the baby carrots as is. had also bought some celery because I'm trying to work on my nutritional habits. Apparently, I got this app that I like track my meals, and I think that it's a raccoon, but I think that he thinks I'm a child. He's like, "Oh, McDonald's, great, good job," you know. "Oh, you had some melted cheese." Yes. "Oh, you know, turkey pepperoni, way to go." But anywho, I'm going to cut this celery up, and I do not and will not eat the strings on a celery. So I cut off the ends, and then I like pull the strings off. You saw how I did it. And it's good. You don't get them nasty strings in your mouth. And I cut this little celery up into pieces, and then I chop it up and put it into the salad. And it was good. And it had that crunch. I usually like onion in my salad for the crunch, but I didn't really want to chop an onion. And so this, honestly, was just as good. And my breath doesn't stink. And oh my gosh, guys, best part here is plating it up. So we've got our macaroni. You see this cheese? You see this melty liquid gold goodness? Here I am going to try to open this pepper again with my nubs. So I did put some salt in there already, so I added the pepper. Look at that. Oh gosh. You know you want to try that, right? Macaroni is my favorite food. Then we've got our fish here. We've got the salmon up top, followed by the tilapia, looking like a snack. There's our corn on the cob. We got to butter it though, y'all. We got to put some butter on this corn. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, this is a good looking dinner right here. This is a good looking supper. You've got every food group you can imagine. We're heavy on the cheese today, and I'm here for it. It's good. Let's plate it up. Before we do that, I'm going to put these crispy fried onions onto the top of our salad. This it's delish. You should try those sometimes too. I have some croutons, but they looked stale, and so I had these, and I was like, this will be delish actually. And I always plate my husband's food up for him because I love him so much, and he does so much for me, and this is one way that I give back to him. So I'm going to get him a little bit of salad, a little bit more salad. I also got him a cucumber. And I'm going to put him a little bit of salmon. I'm giving him a piece and a half of salmon. Then I'm going to go in and get him some corn. I'm going to give him a healthy dose of macaroni and cheese. and a drizzle of his favorite salad dressing. And that's it, guys. This is the plate. It was as good as it looks. Everything on this plate was delish. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope that you had fun, and I hope that it made you hungry. And if you decide to try any of these recipes, you let me know. I'll see you on the next one.